311 2022.
Okay, and that's 087-311-2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is this regarding?
This is your case number for your investigation.
Okay, and what am I reporting?
Well, you just told me.
Okay, and can you tell me, because I mean, when I report things, it kind of gets misconstrued, and it's not what I'm really reporting, so I just want you to kind of repeat back to me what you have in the report, if that's okay.
Okay, I haven't wrote the report yet. I'll write it when we get off the phone, but I'm going to put in there. You said that you wanted to report that you've been reporting child abuse since 2011, and that you have not gotten your investigation that you want, and you feel like people have been ignoring your calls, and that you've called over 30 plus caseworkers for CPS, and they have been ignoring you as well, and you've had multiple crimes against you that you've reported. Nothing's been done about it.
Well,
Correct?
I would like a little bit more details. That I think that my phone calls with the interruption, police interrupted me at AT&T. There was something very critical with me not reporting what was going on with my phone. The 30 plus CP intake operators that cover for child abuse, which is a crime. Is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
That they're not reporting what you're reporting?
Yeah, if covering for child abuse is a crime. If there's someone's report, if they're suspected child abuse, you have to report it for certain positions. And to be a CPS worker and not report suspected child abuse is a crime. I'm a wonder.
Did you talk to any supervisors at CPS?
Well, I just wanted to know why so many parties were covering up for the crimes. And if you're in law enforcement, can we get a solution on why 30 intake operators would risk charges to cover up for child abuse and corruption?
Okay.
Do you think maybe I wasn't really calling them?
Ma'am?
You think maybe the spoof call and the dispatcher that forgot he wasn't a dispatcher and thought he was a police and couldn't make up his mind whether he was dispatcher or police has something to do with why 30 intake operators would not investigate child abuse?
I have no idea if that's related, ma'am.
Okay, well, you're police, right?
Yes, ma'am. I was not a part of the conversation you had.
Oh, but I mean, you'll investigate. There will be an investigation, because someone breaking into someone's phone and manipulating and spoofing calls is a crime, right?
Right. I have to do a report first before there's an investigation.
Okay, so this time, will there be an investigation? Because I fell through the cracks for like 62 reports. That's a lot for me to get lost. It's like it's on purpose or something.
Well, the only thing I'll be doing on purpose is I'll be purposely taking the report for you. That's it.
Okay, will there be an investigation? Because like I said, there's like 62 reports that I haven't had investigation for them, and I've been ran off the road. A car sped up like it was going to hit me on camera footage. The place that I was staying at, the domestic violence place, instead of following proper protocol, they put me out and wouldn't review the camera footage. It was right in front of the building when I was crossing the street, and I reported multiple times. I reported multiple times when I was crossing the street, cars would speed up. It happened more than one time. And a lot of times it was on camera footage. It happened at racetrack. So I tried to have the police review the camera footage and pull the camera footage at racetrack down the street from the domestic violence place. They wouldn't do it. And police wouldn't investigate it at two different locations. I don't know why police would not, because that's critical evidence, because it's amazing that when I'm crossing the street, how cars have sped up. And why police wouldn't want the record of that and when it's on camera footage. Because I've been kind of explaining how I've been getting tortured, robbed, pickpocketed, attacked multiple times, assaulted, threatened, and I keep falling through the cracks. Stuff like that can cause a nervous breakdown. To get trapped on a train multiple times, spending your money on DART, and to get violated by bus drivers that trap you in. And then some kind of way the police don't take the report and get upset with you for reporting it. I don't know a lot of people that got trapped on DART trains, why the operator would be so corrupt to terrify someone and by trapping them on the train. Especially getting threatened by multiple boys. Well, I shouldn't say boys, they were teenagers. On camera footage, July 4th, 2019, 4:08 a.m. on the Buckner Green Line. On camera footage, and there was also cameras and audio. In some kind of way, the police didn't disregarded that. They disregarded when another bus driver let me get threatened and then lied with the police. I've been trapped on trains multiple times. Another time they trapped me on a train, the last train when I was trying to go somewhere, and they trapped me on the train and took me to the garage, forcing me to sleep outside, and I have all this chaos going on. I reported it to the same officer that wouldn't take the reports when the boys threatened me. Why the bus driver trapped me on the train? That's pretty severe. Why would bus drivers trap a woman on the train?
You said all
That's
these
some pretty
reports have fallen through the cracks, so you've already made reports for all of these things.
Right, I'm just trying to see if you're an officer, if there could be some kind of connection. Why would multiple different police departments allow me to get slipped through the cracks? It's pretty severe. Someone's getting trapped on trains. Have you ever heard of someone getting trapped on a train?
So what I'm asking you is
I just want to know, since you're a police, I just want to know. I don't know why some people get so upset with me when I have experienced so much.
So you have made reports for all of these. You're just wanting to know why nothing's been done about it.
I do kind of want to know why multiple different police departments would, allow me to get slipped through the cracks, and why multiple different police departments would tamper with evidence and commit felonies, interrupt me from reporting crimes to AT&T that's going on with my phone. I want to know why they take such a big stock in keeping me in chaos. But I did ask you, have you ever heard of anyone that got trapped on a dark train?
No, that would be dark police.
Right. But, if you're speaking with a woman that claims that she was in abuse and, going through a lot of amazing events, have you ever heard of anyone got trapped on the train?
No, I've never known anybody that got trapped on a train.
It's happened more than one time in a bus.
And you reported that, correct?
Yeah, but, when I was reporting it, the police kind of got upset and arrested me, and I thought I'd die in jail. Lindsay, he interrupted me reporting it to Cedric Bivens. He was really upset that I didn't want to be getting trapped on trains and buses, and I was confused at why multiple bus drivers and operators would lie and slander me and say things that wasn't true and put me off the bus and scheme to get me off the bus.
Okay.
Also, the multiple schemes with the police, I don't know why they had such a big problem with me catching the bus to give me this fake criminal trespass, and nothing happened. I asked, that he told me that I had a criminal trespass from catching the bus, and I said, what happened? And he got mad because he didn't know and arrested me on another occasion. He was arresting me for catching the bus and did not know why he was doing it. I said, what did I do to not be able to catch the bus? This is insane. First off, I was getting trapped on buses and trains and stuff, and you wouldn't take reports of it. And now you're telling me I can't catch the bus and you don't know why? And then I'm going to jail and almost died in jail and couldn't go to court?
Well, here's what I think. So I think you're upset about nothing being done about your reports. You need to call the agencies that you made the reports with, like Itasca and Dark Police and stuff like that. You need to talk to their supervisors.
Oh, no. What I was reporting tonight, I know I'm just giving you the whole overall story. I'm giving you evidence that maybe I'm targeted. And
right.
That's crime. That's a, big criminal federal crimes to target someone and use power for multiple police departments. That's like federal crime, Fed time. So that's pretty severe consequences for that if people were ever caught doing it. But what I'm saying is today, I don't know why the police interrupted me reporting to AT&T the chaos going on with my phone, because it's very vital, because people I would not believe what I was experiencing. So I need to be able to contact legitimate people and express what I'm going to get advocacy and to get attorneys and different things. And I call multiple attorneys on my phone and they're not calling me back. So I'm questioning if something suspicious is going on with my phone. But each time the police get in the way, and my cell phone providers keep telling me to call the police, and the police won't investigate. So I thought that it was pretty odd for my cell phone carriers to not want to know about their phone network getting broken into and refusing to investigate it when I'm paying them the phone bill. How they denied me investigation to report their phone network is getting broken into. How my phone is cut off when I was calling different parties and emergencies and different things. to have my text cut off, and the proof that my service was intervened. I reported it multiple times with multiple different carriers. So I need to get to the bottom of what's going on with my phone so I can make this authentic phone calls. Because if I'm getting spoof calls, that's why 30 CPS intake per people denied me investigation. Because they're maybe possibly spoofed. That's why when I call the police today, or when I call the non-emergency line, he couldn't decide whether he was a police department or not a 911 operator. And maybe that's why when I was getting threatened and panicking and he got robbed and assaulted and different things, the 911 operators hung up in my face. Maybe I wasn't really calling them. I'm not sure what was going on. I talked to Sergeant Clark. Well, not Sergeant Clark, something Clark. She was a supervisor. Because I reported that multiple 911 operators would not dispatch out police in the emergencies, which is crime. I reported that to Sergeant, I keep saying Sergeant Clark, something Clark. Yes, I did report that in the past. But what I'm trying to see is why the CPS worker today, her name is, let me get their name. Chastity Chavez and Rashida. Rashida hung up when I was trying to tell her safety concerns regarding my daughter, and they're doing investigations. And like I said, multiple investigators did not call back. This would have been the first investigator out of 30-something reports that have responded. And then when they called, they were more like covering for the crimes and the child abuse, the conspiracy to violate my civil rights. And as a parent, hindering a child custody agreement is a felony. Even if there's multiple conspirators in it, that's a felony. And there's multiple parties that have aided in hindering my child custody rights. But it's hard because, law enforcement is denied for some reason in multiple different locations. Do you know why that is?
Hold on one more second. I'm trying to get everything. That's a lot of information. Did you say 62 or 64 reports?
This will be the 63rd one. Yes, and I don't really have an investigator. The main thing that I want to be in the report, if possible, is how I'm suspicious on the 30-something intake operators that were covering for the child abuse. If I was really calling CPS. In addition to that, I'm suspicious on why Rashida and Chastity Chavez was covering for child abuse and they supposedly work for CPS. And I thought that was a crime. She hung up when I was trying to tell her that my daughter got hit and investigation for that was denied. The police were thought that, probably the stepmom did it because I told them that I wasn't aware who hit her. And I showed them the text and they would deny an investigation. My daughter later on communicated, see, she's getting controlled. When she reports abuse, she gets punished. Last time when it said she had a meltdown when it was time for me to leave, I hadn't saw her. And she had a meltdown, and when she had a meltdown, the stepmom said she was going to give her away to CPS. So she's controlled. That's kind of like torture. You miss and love your mom, and then this other party's controlling you and preventing you from having access to multiple parties. So she cried and had the meltdown and got punished. That's pretty extreme to give her away. So I tried to report it to the police, and they were more like covering for it and denied me the right to report the situation to CPS. Because I think that that's a pretty toxic environment because we were really close, and to punish her for showing that she, missed me, that she was actually, bothered by this experience, to get punished by her stepmom saying she was going to give her away. That's emotional abuse. Anyone that has not seen their mom in a long time and she is fully aware of how close we were, going swimming and Easter egg hunting and all the things that we did, everyone is fully aware of how active I was in my kid's life. to deprive her from her mother and how close we were, of course she's going to be emotional. And to punish her? But what I don't understand is why multiple parties would cover for that and then enforce that I don't have a relationship with my daughter out of criminal activity and risk felonies to keep us apart.
Okay, well, I'm going to report all this for you, ma'am.
Well, will there be an investigation? Because for years there haven't been one. Multiple parties have been covering for it, which is hindering the child custody agreement is a felony.
Let me tell you what happens.
Okay.
So my job as a patrolman is you call the police, I answer to you, and then you want to make a report, I make a report for you, or I put down what you need, and then it goes above me. So I'm doing my job, then it will go above me, and it's on to the higher person.
Okay, so if I'm denied law enforcement out of criminal activity, what is the consequence for multiple parties, departments conspiring together to violate my rights? I read that was up to 10 years on the FBI page. Is that correct?
That will be determined by the officer that will be pressing charges.
No, I'm saying I want to know my rights. If multiple departments have conspired together to violate my rights, what kind of time are multiple parties looking at? Is that what kind of federal time is that conspiring together to violate a citizen's rights?
Right,
like denying them the right to their child, denying their right to court.
That's not my job. I don't give people time, and I don't determine time.
Oh, because I just wanted to know my rights, and I've had a hard time getting the education.
No, you have the right to report any kind of offense or anything. That's exactly what we're doing right now.
Right, but if I have 60-something reports and they're not getting investigated, it's more like police departments are committing crimes to cover up for my experiences. And I'm trying to get the education on the magnitude of the consequences for doing such things. If multiple parties, for whatever reason, they are doing that to tamper with evidence and commit crimes to violate and torture someone under wraps where no one could really tell, said why I don't understand why I got locked on trains multiple times and the police covered for it. That's terrifying.
The only thing I can do for you is I can do the reportable offense that you're requesting. That's all I can do for you. Well, and then it goes up.
Well, here's the thing, sir. I keep speaking with law enforcement, and law enforcement can never get it right to actually give it to me for years. So what I'm trying to figure out is why all the law enforcement has an excuse on why they're depriving me from law enforcement.
That doesn't make sense to me. I'm giving you everything I can.
Right, but I want to know if multiple parties all over the state, because I've been all over, are conspiring together to violate my rights and sabotage evidence to keep me in this corruption and abuse. I would like to know, because it's kind of amazing that multiple reports in the 60s have been, haven't been investigated, especially getting trapped on the train on camera footage multiple times. They have cameras in mics on trains.
You're wanting to know what their punishment would be, correct?
I just want to know the severity of the situation, because to me it seems like it should be pretty severe, with multiple parties conspiring to violate one citizen's rights and tamper with evidence and violating the individual, even from having cell phone service on camera footage, to interrupt them from having proper phone service.
Somebody would be indicted, and then that would be determined by a judge and a jury.
Okay, so it would be a lot of different parties that would get indicted, I assume. Because there's a lot of people tampering with evidence, committing felonies. What about the 30 intake operators that cover for child abuse? Isn't that a crime?
The only thing I do is report it, ma'am, and then it goes above me.
I call all over, sir, and I want education on these crimes, and the parties don't seem to have it or even investigate it. So I'm not quite sure where to get the education from, because I call all over.
You can look up the Texas Penal Code, and you can find all the education there for your rights, as well as the crimes against persons, and then the punishments and all that other stuff.
Yeah, because I thought that, police would freely give education. I asked Reynolds today, and he didn't want to give me any education either, and, he tampered with evidence 2 times by not taking reports.
No. I'm just educating you on what I've educated you on what I'm supposed to do and what my part is.
Okay, sir.
Do more can do. I just report it, and then it goes above me.
Okay, so I don't know how I'm going to get an investigation if it's denied 60-something times. And when will people get the consequences they deserve? This will be the 63rd time. So, and you're not sure if an investigator will call me back?
Ma'am, if there's a reportable offense, an investigator will be in contact with you.
So when this first started and it was really fresh, really fresh and new, an investigator will call you back. That's what I heard, and then they didn't. Now they never can just seem to get something that an investigator would need to investigate. Getting trapped on a train and threatened is not enough. Getting your phone hacked and spoofed is not enough. Reporting child abuse is not enough. My bank not giving me funds on camera footage with my ID and social security card is not enough. 4 copies of holes that the post office will not honor, showing the police the copies at the post office, calling the police on the post office is not enough. Burnett said it was angry with me and would not take the report. Going to internal affairs, showing internal affairs the copies, showing internal affairs all the evidence. No investigation is not enough. Dart arrested me at customer service, trying to speak with Cedric Benevins, telling them there's something going on, while multiple operators would trap me on trains, lock me in, getting threatened, all this chaos, going to jail for reporting it. Lindsay did it. Getting put off trains and buses multiple times for nothing.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to report what we've talked about. And that's my job. That's what I do. So I'm going to report whatever we talked about, and then I can't control what Dart does, and I can't control what Itasca does at all.
Well, I'm just showing a lot of major events going on that have been getting ignored, and I somehow can't get an investigation for. Because I think that it's pretty insane if I have a bank account that I've been banking at 15 years. And then all of a sudden, now that I have this stalker that people don't think exists, they won't give me my funds. So I call the police on them. Because I have my ID and multiple of them would not give me my funds. I was destitute and terrified. Right. Why in the world would my bank not give me my money that I have banked at 15 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you bank there and then something's going on with your account within them, that's a civil matter. I'm not allowed to go into a bank.
No, something happened at the Attorney General. Something happened with my food stamps. I was told that my food stamps were stolen. And then the Health and Human Services wouldn't take a report or the police. Then it changed to they were expunged off my card. They were not on my card, period. They couldn't get their lie straight. I don't know why multiple human health and human services workers would lie. That's a crime to steal someone's food stamps. It was like $1,000 on there. That's criminal. Why would multiple health and human services workers conspire to cover for the theft? I needed that. Why would my bank conspire to keep me away from getting my funds? Why would the police deny me a report of that? Why would they threaten the police to prevent me from reporting suspicious things with my child support payments? These are a lot of, why would they tell me I'm going to jail for trying to report identity theft that I had at my bank? They will not take the report. Why did police get so bothered in police headquarters? 6 police threatened to take me to jail on camera footage. Why did Internal Affairs deem that not investigatable? Of them threatening to arrest a citizen for trying to report that she had identity theft. Why did the marshals arrest me for trying to report I had a battery pack stolen? That battery pack was critical because I was getting mistreated and threatened all the time. I had already got arrested for catching a bus out of criminal activity and I almost died in jail. So I needed my phone. And I was already homeless, so that battery pack was critical for me to record the chaos that I was experiencing. And then when I tried to report it to the marshals, 10 marshals put me out. Why would the marshals get so bothered that I'm trying to report I have a battery pack stolen? And I told them
why are all these agencies getting bothered with you and arresting you?
Right. So I think that the scapegoat is, because it's an unbelievable situation, let's just milk that. Nobody will believe it. But here's the thing, it's on camera footage. We don't have to question what's on camera. I want to know when Sal was lied on at Salvation Army and 3 police arrested me while they're refusing to investigate that. It's easily proven slander. That's a crime. Why would the police department refuse to investigate that? Did they do that on their own?
about, and we'll see what they want to do about it. If you have any other questions, you can call back.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why getting a citizen getting trapped on trains multiple times and all this chaos going on. Why do they keep denying it? It is dark, but I mean, I'm just showing a pattern of the extreme of the abuse that I've experienced and the chaos that's going on in my life. Why my bank wouldn't give me my funds, and I've been banking there years, and why the police covered for it.
I've heard your story.
Right, but I mean, I don't understand why police don't deem that as something to investigate. That's theft, and my bank is stealing my money from me. Why when I reported another theft, it's Officer Smith, it's Central Patrol deny me a police report to report a theft? That's a crime. That's tampering with evidence. Why did they deny me the right to report robberies and pickpocketing?
Clark, hear what I'm saying. I'm going to put down what we talked about, and then it's going to go above me, and we're going to see what they want to do about it.
Right. So I want to know why the police don't deem all these circumstances as investigatable.
What we talked about. What we spoke about is what I'm gonna put down, okay?
I'm just trying to figure out, sir, what needs to be investigated, because if you're trapped on trains, assaulted, guns pulled on you, on camera footage, attacked, and multiple witnesses are trying to tell the police that man attacked her, police are telling the witnesses no and won't investigate it. No, that man just attacked that lady on camera. That multiple witnesses at the Baylor station. Witnesses are pleading with the police, no, that man attacked the woman, and the officer steady telling them people, no, he didn't, and would not investigate it. And they're like confused. Is this officer on drugs? What is happening here? But I had already been through the crimes. I knew exactly what was happening. They were new to it. Those people did not understand why multiple parties were telling the police that man attacked the woman, and the police was covering for it. They could not understand it. Which I can't either.
Right. Okay, I'm going to put down what we talked about, and we'll see what they want to do about it. And if you have any problems in the next couple of days, you're more than welcome to call back.
Okay, well, do you know why they don't deem all this stuff investigatable?
No, I'm not an investigator.
Okay. Well, maybe someone can figure it out, sir. You know, why all these things, these crimes, because it sounds like people are committing crimes. It's criminal. To tamper with evidence, that's a felony. And that's what it sounds like is going on. If you can't give me a reason why all these major things that happened in my life are not getting investigated, that's criminal. It's just not like a fluke or, we just don't have time. That is a crime. Hindering prosecution is a criminal offense. These are multiple 60-something crimes.
Okay, well, I'm going to put down what we talked about, and if you want to call back in the next couple of days, you're more than welcome, man. I hope it all works out for you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to hear those things happen to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you don't know if it'll be investigated with all that chaos going on. You should already know and be confident in your department they won't continue to commit crimes, and it would be investigated. That's a red flag that if you're not secure that it'll be investigated, that something is amiss.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I told you what I do as a police officer for patrol.
Well, if you are for patrol and you're a police officer and all this chaos is going on, you should be fully aware and confident that I'll get a call from an investigator. You should not be confused on if an investigator will call me. If you are not sure if an investigator will call me, that's a red flag that more crimes are going to be committed.
I'm going to put down what we talked about, and you're more than welcome to call back the next couple of days, and I hope things work out for you, Ms. Clark.
Right, but I'm wanting to know regarding the investigator. If you can't assure me that an investigator will call me, then there's some crimes are still being committed.
And then it goes above me, and then I don't determine those things.
Right, so crimes are still being committed. With all this chaos going on, with the man trying to tell the police officer that he witnessed me getting attacked, and the police covering for it and telling the man it didn't happen and he wasn't even there.
Ms. Clark, I'm going to let you go so I can put these things down because I can't get anything started until I do the report for you.
Sure, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope things get better for you.
Well, I think that, some parties have to give the people the charges they deserve for it to get better. I think people need to stop getting away with these crimes for it to end.